What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the world according to Briggs, where today we're going to look at two very different states that are also very similar, Texas and California. So you're probably wondering how two places can be so different, yet so similar at the same time. I will explain. Both states are two of the most populated states. Both states are two of the largest states by area. Both are two of our economic powerhouses. More people left California than moved in, where Texas is the exact opposite. Both are well over their quota for professional sports, and according to this chart by the US Census Bureau, both states are pretty much swapping residents. The most moved to state for Californians is Texas, and the most moved to state for Texans is California. Kinda weird. And that's what today's video is all about. 10 reasons why California and Texas are swapping people. Now I'll tell you up front, this video will seem lopsided. And the comment section will have a bunch of comments saying that I'm biased or whatever the new word of the week is. That's fine. The fact remains that for most people, Texas is a more appealing state, and they have more Californians moving in than Californians are receiving Texans. It's not just because California has more people either, so stop typing. With 29 million residents in Texas and 39 million in California, roughly 1.1% of Texans over the age of 25 are moving to California, and 1.3% of Californians are moving to Texas, and that's over the last decade. So this list will be lopsided, and that's just because it is. This list is about why they're swapping. But if you want to see a great state-by-state comparison, Mr. Beat, another really good YouTube channel, uploaded a video comparing both states. You can check out his video after this one. I'll have a link at the end. Okay, on to the reasons. Number 10, politics. Texas is very much a red state and votes Republican without fail. Austin, the state's capital, is one of the few exceptions. California, on the other hand, is left of Gandhi. They are so liberal, and a majority of their votes go to Democrats. The problem is most of the state's area is not, just the major metro areas that have the most people and the votes. San Francisco, LA, San Jose, and San Diego. The eastern part of the state and a lot of the northern part tend to be very rural and Republican, and they feel left out and underrepresented. So they leave, and most of the time, they leave for Texas. So all of you Texans out there that complain that you're getting a bunch of liberals in there, you're really not. Most of the Californians that are moving to Texas vote the same way you guys do. Number 9, natural beauty. California's landscape is arguably the best in the country. There's snow-covered mountains, ancient valleys, deep blue lakes, deserts, and legendary beaches. You could spend a lifetime hiking California and not see everything this state has to offer. Take a look. Sure, Texas has some natural beauty, but that's not their strong point. It is for California. If this is something you're thinking right now doesn't matter, like why does that matter? To a lot of people, it really does. Number 8, you can afford to buy a home in Texas. If you've ever looked at the home prices in any of the metro areas in California and didn't already know about them, you will think your real estate agent has gotten you involved in some sort of prank show. When he or she explains what your mortgage will look like, pick your jaw up off the floor and move to Texas. You'll be able to find an affordable home around a major city without a problem. The median listing price, for example, in San Antonio, one of the more popular cities in Texas, is just under $250,000 as of late 2019. In Plano, where they have low crime, jobs, and good schools, the median listing price is about $375,000. In a similar city to Plano in California, you're looking at $750,000 easily. Number 7, taxes. Texas has no state income tax. How refreshing is that? Doesn't that sound nice? No state income tax. On the other hand, California does. They have so many taxes, you'd think they look at their residents like they're leprechauns with an endless supply of gold. California's top marginal income tax rate is 12.3%. Add that with the painful list of sales taxes and fees. It's not just housing you're getting gouged in California. It's pretty much everything. This reason alone is why so many retirees have fled California for Texas and actually Washington state also. No state income tax. Number 6, entertainment. Yes, Texas has some things to do. Theaters, museums, nightlife, they have it all. Compare it to California, and it seems sort of boring. California has everything Texas has, just more of it and better. Okay, you got California beat on rodeos, but everything else, way better in California. Oddly enough, one study showed that nightlife was one of the top 5 reasons Texans moved to California. In that same study, it showed females between the age of 19 and 29 listed that as their number 1 reason. Surfing is way better than wakeboarding or floating on a tube down a river and drinking beer. I mean, that's fun, don't get me wrong. Compare it to surfing, doesn't compare. And if you try and say the Gulf is better than the Pacific, you should be arrested. Number 5, weather. California is known for its weather. A majority of the human race prefers warm, sunny days. California has plenty of them. I'm one of those freaks that enjoy rain and cold weather. I know, I'm weird, but still. California is known worldwide as having one of the best climates in the world. As a matter of fact, San Diego is said to have the best weather in the country. You can expect great weather no matter where you are in California. Sure, you'll get some rain every now and then, but really, it's not that bad. Most days are warm and most days are sunny. This is what makes California a perfect place to be outdoors and do things outdoors. That's why so many people hike, and there's golf year-round. It never gets too cold to golf in California, and you go to the beach 9 months out of the year in shorts. At least in Southern California. You get up towards Northern California, it's a different story. Number 4, state management. Texas is probably the best run state in the country, and it's huge. It is hard enough to consistently string a couple good years together for a small state. Texas has been making the right moves for a very long time. Great economy, employment numbers are solid, always. Crime isn't the worst, and schools are solid in most of the areas of the state. Now, whenever I bring up schools, I always get a couple jackweeds. They bring up one school and how horrible it is, and stop typing. We're talking averages here. And Texas has good averages on just about everything when it comes to state government. California, on the other hand, it's a frickin' nightmare. That's one of the main reasons people are fleeing California, is how the state is running the place. Now, they have a lot of problems on their hands, and it's hard to overcome a lot of them. But Texas is almost as big as they are, and they seem to be doing okay. Now, this one isn't as much a Republican-Democrat thing. It's just people that are making bad moves. I mean, California is run by Democrats, yes, and they're doing horribly as a state. Texas is Republican, and they're doing great. But I could also show you states like Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas that are all Republican, and they're some of the poorest states in the country. So it really doesn't matter which party it is, because they could both be just horrible. Number 3, natural disasters. Everyone that's ever watched a television knows that California gets everything but tornadoes when it comes to natural disasters. Every summer there's wildfires because of the forever drought. Now, as I say this, the last 2 years haven't been as bad as they have been in the past, but it's still a state of drought. After the wildfires are done, and before the insurance actually pays up for your house burning down, the state gets a day and a half of rain and the mudslides begin, taking out whole blocks. And on top of all that, you get the occasional earthquake. The state has them every single day. Most you can't feel, some you do, and some actually scare you into renting a U-Haul truck. Texas, what do they get? They get hurricanes and the occasional tornado. The earthquakes are the roughest. Number 2. Who's moving? So, here's a strange fact. Of all the people moving to each state from the other state, the ones with the money are heading to California. The US Census shows that 83% of the residents leaving California for Texas fall under the blue-collar category or living in or below the poverty line. And for the people heading to California from Texas, 85% are white-collar or making over $120,000 a year. So the money's heading to California. The thing is, they're going to need it. The cost of living there is crazy. And number 1, firearms. We live in a world of choice. We live in a country of freedom, for the most part, and we all have rights. In the United States, you have several camps when it comes to firearms. You have the hardcore for the Second Amendment, and you have the hardcore against. You have the people that support gun ownership but maybe feel there needs to be more laws in place. And then you have the people that really just don't care. I am by no means taking one side or another on this one. I own a few firearms, but I also understand why some people don't. We have the right to own them, and we have the freedom to complain about them, and we have the choice to move to another place that maybe has looser or tighter restrictions on them. And that is a big reason people swap states. In Texas, a large majority of the residents are very pro-gun, and the state has some of the loosest gun laws. California goes the opposite direction. California has some of the strongest gun laws in the country. People are very passionate about both sides of this subject, and it is a reason people move to each of these states. Yeah, it's a real thing. To those of you that don't care either way about the gun ownership thing, this is very important to some people, and they will switch states because of it. Alright, so that's our video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a little bit different, but I liked it. And you know, big shout out to Mr. Beat. Like I said, you should check out his channel now that this video's done. Give him a big thumbs up. I've been a big fan of his for a long time. It's kind of fun to collaborate with him and get to know him. Maybe we'll do something like this again in the future. But hey, everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.